In today's video, I'm going to be showing you possibly the only video filter system you'll ever need. It does a lot. Good morning everybody. Today I'm going to be talking to you about a brand new product, a brand new idea from Freewell. This is another magnetic filter system, but with a difference. These are variable NDs. They have sent me a complete kit. Let me show you what's inside the pouch. Now, first of all, you get the base ring. You screw this onto the front of your lens and you leave it there. Secondly, you'll have a base variable ND that goes on the front of the filter. I'll come back to that in a second. On front of that, you will put a 2 to 5 stop variable ND. This has got fixed stops on it. If you turn that around, that's also a circular polarizer. You've also got a 6 to 9 stop variable ND. You turn that around and that is a ND32 and circular polarizer. And finally, you can use all of that in combination with a variable ND mist filter. And you get a magnetic filter cap that goes on the front to protect all of those filters. Let me explain how this all works. Full disclosure, Freewell have sent me these to keep, but they're not sponsoring this video. I am therefore free to say whatever I like. These are my own personal opinions and thoughts, having used these for around 6 weeks. Now, if my experience is anything to go by, then I would say that the majority of people out there creating video content, trying to achieve video-friendly shutter speeds, will be using something similar to this. This is a variable ND, which is quite simply 2 polarizers physically fixed together, and you turn them for the desired effect. Now these work okay, they're a bit fiddly and they're a bit slow, but the danger with them is that if you push them too far, you get a very, very strong X across your image. And if you're out in bright sunny conditions, sometimes that's difficult to spot on your screen or in the viewfinder. And that is quite simply just a consequence of one filter trying to do too much. And that is why Freewell have separated these two in their new filter system. Now, one of the solutions to this is to have fixed stops. So you'll see in the Freewell filter and other filter systems, they have a 2 to 5 stop variable ND. You can't push it any further and therefore you avoid the cross. But Freewell have taken that even further, and by separating the 2 polarizers, you now get a more versatile kit. Okay, the sun is actually coming up now, so I need to put the filters on this camera, otherwise I end up shooting at f10, which is what I'm doing right now. So I'm going to screw on the base filter. Next, we're going to be putting on the base variable ND. This just slots inside like so. And quite simply, that is a 1-stop polarizer. Now that that's on, I can stop down to f4.5, but I want to shoot wider than that. So let's put on a variable ND. Like I said, the sun has literally just come up, so a 2 to 5 stop is going to be absolutely perfect for this. Okay, so I just line up the 2 A's on the receiver. And now I'm shooting at 1/50th of a second, f2.8 with the variable ND. Here we go. Now at the moment the lighting conditions suit the 2 to 5 stop, but if it were to be brighter, then you can obviously reach for the 6 to 9 stop. Now these are magnetic. You could physically attach this to the front of the 2 to 5 stop. I'm not entirely sure what would happen. I think the YouTube police would turn up and take my channel away, so I don't particularly want to do it. I mean, we could try it. What do you think is going to happen? I don't particularly want to do this, but here we go. Oh dear, I told you the world was going to end. So there you go. Although it can be done, it doesn't mean that you should. Something to be aware of when using polarizers or variable NDs is that the effect varies depending upon how wide your lens is and your relative position to the sun. In this video clip here, I'm using a 16mm lens and I've pushed a filter to its maximum strength of 5 stops, and you can see that it's suffering from being darker in the middle and lighter at the edges. To avoid this, I started using the 6 to 9 stop rather than being at the limit of the 2 to 5 stop filter. To demonstrate this without the distraction of video, I took 4 photographs all at the same settings using a 24mm lens. You can see that the 2 to 5 stop filter at 2 stops shows no darkening in the centre of the shot, but if you push this to 5 stops then it becomes apparent. The 6 to 9 stop filter at 6 stops is fine again until you push it to the maximum 9 stops. So just be aware of this if you're using a wide angle lens with any polarizing filter. In terms of optical quality, this is best shown using a high resolution photograph and cropping in for comparison. The photograph on the left is a 30 megapixel image taken on the Canon EOS R and my sharpest lens, the 24mm tilt shift, at f11 and ISO 100, no filters. The image on the right has the 2 to 5 stop filter at 2 stops. Even under close examination, I'm not seeing any loss of quality with the filters, which is good. All variable NDs have a colour cast, and these are no exception. Both the 2 to 5 and the 6 to 9 stop filters add a green tone to the images, which is most evident in the clouds of this video clip shot with a custom white balance. Now, up until this point you might say, hey Ben, there are other filters on the market that are variable ND and have fixed stops. Yes, but here's where the benefit of separating the polarizers comes in. If you buy a variable ND from another company, you've got a variable ND. That's all it does. With this system, the 2 to 5 stop, you flip it around and it's an independent circular polarizer. So you can use that on its own, you can use it in combination with the other magnetic filter system. The 6 to 9 stop, if you flip that around, that is an ND32 and a circular polarizer, which is good for video and photography as well. Just say you were photographing waterfalls or something, you want to use both ND filters to create a longer exposure and a polarizer to cut through some of the glare, to saturate some of the colours. That's 2 separate filters. With this, that's combined into one filter, plus you flip it around, it's a variable ND again. You can see how versatile the product is by kind of separating it out into its different components. So far we've just talked about NDs and variable NDs and polarizers. This system has also got a mist filter. I've seen a lot of content creators using mist filters purely because nowadays everybody's shooting in 4K with really sharp lenses and everything looks a bit too digital, a bit too crisp. So the way to counteract that is to use a mist filter. Now, it doesn't lose detail as such. If you have a look at the filter close up, it's got a texture to it. And that texture on the filter has an influence upon the highlights and how the graduation from highlights to midtones happens. So it doesn't actually lose you detail, but it gets this cinematic, in air quotes, look to your video. So this mist filter is also a variable ND and it can be used in combination with the 2 to 5 and the 6 to 9 variable ND. I'm keeping the mist filter on, it looks sweet. Now, if you already own any of Freewell's existing magnetic filters, you'll be pleased to hear that this new system is completely compatible. So let's just say you've got this is the filter that I reviewed in my other video, I'll put the link in the description, and this is an ND64, which is what I use for shooting all of my videos for the last year when shooting outdoors. So the flexibility of this new system is not just about what is in the kit, it's about whatever Freewell have in their existing magnetic filter lineup. So I could use a 6 stop and a polarizer, a 10 stop and a polarizer, quite a few options. Too many options. Now the magnets on these filters are reassuringly strong and it might just be the kit that I've got, but if you use this, it does take a bit of negotiation to get them out of the filter system, but at least you know it's in there properly. If you're concerned about vignetting, then this is 16mm on a full frame camera with the base ND and the 6 to 9 stop. You're not seeing any darkening at 16mm, and that is exactly why they've made this filter system larger than the thread. Once you've got this system installed, you can no longer put a lens hood on, but you can see why they've done that. It needed to be bigger because the more filters you stack on the front, the greater the chances of having vignetting in the corners. So this is 16mm full frame. Now in terms of practicality, the new filter system is easy to use and it's quick. It's not as run and gun as the original fixed ND filter system, but if I was strictly filming outdoors, I would definitely opt for the new filter system because it gives you that level of control. Right now I'm shooting at ISO 100, exactly where I need it to be. If I use a fixed 6 stop ND, for example, then I expect the camera's ISO to be pushed up a bit to compensate. The kit comes with a carry case, but I am told that this is going to be redesigned. I've not seen the new version, so I can't really comment. So although this does everything you need it to, it does not fit into your pocket. This is going to have to live in your camera bag. So I look forward to seeing the new design that they come up with. The product is going to be launched on an Indiegogo campaign. The first 1,000 supporters will get it for $300 US. The next 1,000 will be $350 US, and then after that, $400 US. That's for the complete kit that they've sent me. If you're just getting into filmmaking and you're researching which filter system to buy, then this genuinely is everything you'll need to create high quality videos. If you're interested in getting one of these, I've put an affiliate link in the description below, which does mean that I get a percentage of the sales. But as always, if you're familiar with my channel, I only ever promote products that I would genuinely buy with my own money and products that I do use to create my videos. So if you've got any questions, let me know in the comments below. I'm happy to help where I can. Thank you to Freewell for sending me this product to review. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and I'll see you in the next video. Indiegogo. Indiegogo? Doesn't sound right. Are you sure? Cut.